Hey everyone, I am doing something different on my channel today as I am here with, introduce yourself for my peoples.
Okay. I am Creepy Elliot. I am a narrator slash voice actor on my channel.
Hmm?
that's like the best way I could put it.
Yeah, this is the first time we've done something like this, at least that's the first time I've done something like this, and today we are going to be talking about Resident Evil, because that's something that I've gotten into lately and I want to bring it to my channel more.
Yeah, like as soon as you said that like you were into Resident Evil, I'm like, oh boy, I think I made a friend.
I have a friend! It's a series that I never thought I'd actually get into. Like,
oh boy.
Yeah, I thought I'd play a couple games and like enjoy them, but never thought I'd actually really get into the series as much as I have, especially so quickly.
Oh yeah, no, I know how that feels.
All
right, so I guess we can go into our first like topic now.
Yeah.
So
What's
just
first on the list?
First on the list is how we got into Resident Evil.
Oh boy.
So this one you can start off.
Okay, so I got into Resident Evil in January this year.
Like, oh my god.
Like, Resident Evil 2 came out, and I'm someone who gets very excited when new games come out, even if they're not a series that I'm very much involved with. So I was excited for Resident Evil, but then I kind of forgot about it until the demo came out. And then I saw the demo and I'm like, oh, I'll try this out. And I'm like, wow, okay, I really like this. And I'm someone who doesn't really play horror games, despite being a big fan of horror. So I got this and I was like, I heard about Mr. X as well, and that was kind of getting me nervous because I don't do well with chasing enemies in games. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to get to that bit. It's going to make me not play the game. But I sat down as soon as I got it, sat down in my room, played it for 8 hours straight, and finished all of Leon A's scenario. I didn't realize it had been 8 hours, but I finished it. And since then, I have been obsessed with Resident Evil. It has taken over my life a little bit. A bit ridiculous.
I kind of did the same thing when I got my PS3 and I purchased DMC Devil May Cry the remake. And
I've not played DMC.
And I didn't realize
I've not played that yet.
I think you would like that. But when I played it and beaten it, I didn't realize that I spent my entire time playing and beating DMC.
It's like it just goes too quickly.
Like, I think it was like 6 hours. Like,
wow.
I want to say 6 hours, maybe 7. And I'm just like, oh no, what have I done?
Oh no. So I didn't even realize it'd been 8 hours of sitting still for pretty much the entire time just playing this game. And then when I got to the laboratory, I'm like, I must be getting close to the end. I'm just gonna keep going for as long as I can. And I got to the end of it. It was probably about 3 o'clock in the morning by that time. But I was just like, I'm finishing this game now. At least Leon's first scenario. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it.
You kind of notice the trope of like you go into like say something that looks old and such and rustic, and then you get close to the end and you go into high tech laboratory or military base.
Well, starts off kind of gothic in a way. Not so much with Resi 2. Resi 2 isn't as gothic, but especially like the original one, that's pretty gothic.
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely the case with like 0, 1, and 4.
Yeah.
So for how I got into the series,
how about you?
Okay, here's the thing. I didn't get into horror until 2007. So that was about 12 years ago, and I was actually 12 years old when I got into horror. It was because I keep seeing trailers and commercials for Rob Zombie's Halloween remake.
Ooh.
And I got interested in it, and it's just like, you know what? I think I might start getting into horror now. So then the first game I played was Resident Evil 4 on the Wii. Which, it's such a good version because like it has all the exclusives of like the PS2, but it also has like amazing motion control with it. So it's like proper aiming and such. And after that, I just wanted to get more into Resident Evil. So then, like, I downloaded Resident Evil 1 DualShock Director's Cut on my PS3. I still haven't beaten that. I still haven't beaten that yet.
There's a good number. I haven't, obviously, I've not been into the series as long as you, but it's still a lot that I haven't finished yet. Yeah. And
then like after that, I just wanted to like learn more about Resident Evil. So I played 4 like a lot. I played a little bit of 5, but I didn't beat it until like a few months ago for the first time. And it's pretty much, the rest is pretty much history from there. Like after Resident Evil 4 is like, that's it. I like Resident Evil.
I like Resident Evil.
I need more.
It's kind of weird because, like I said, well, I think I said, I didn't expect to become a fan of Resident Evil as much as I did, and like I think before I started playing the games, I kind of just saw it as, oh, it's the zombie game. It's a good game series, but it's not really something that I'd get into. It's not like, because I like games with characters and stories and lore. That's why Zelda's a big thing for me, because I really enjoyed the stories of it. And I always saw Resident Evil when I was like kind of an outsider looking in as just, it's the zombie game, go. But getting into the series, there's so much weird lore and it's such a mess at times, but it's really good. So I think that's one thing that really interested me. There's a lot of good characters and stories.
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
There's like a lot of cool things that like you can take from Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Like, especially the characters. Like, that's like the big part about it, is that like there's so many memorable characters, even the villains.
Yeah, the villains. I love the villains so much.
Oh, like, I think we'll get into characters when we get to that.
Just try and stick, kind of go in a not normal motion, but go in some type of order.
Yeah. Like, I guess we could go into the next one. Favorite Resident Evil game.
So, do you want to go first on this one?
I'm gonna say Resident Evil 7.
Ooh, I haven't played much of that one.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's a first-person game. It's a change of pace, but the thing about it is that it's actually scary. Like,
yeah, I've played a little bit of it, and it actually like really freaks me out, because most games I play obviously aren't horror and they're not first person. So going into that, I was like, I don't think I can deal with this just yet. It's really freaked me out. I have watched people play it online, but yeah. Like,
it's so scary, and then like even the story is still pretty good, and the villains, the bakers, like, they are fantastic characters.
They're pretty funny. I really like them from what I've seen so far.
But the thing about it is that the one thing they heavily advertised as well, especially mainly for the PS4, is VR.
Oh god, yeah.
Playing it in VR is a completely new experience.
I don't think I could play it in VR. I don't think I could do it in VR. At least not yet.
Like, it's amazing to see in VR, because everything is like up close to you, and it's so much more freaky. Like, like, say like in like the beginning, you're like going in the water, like under the house, and then you just see the dead body come up right in front of you.
Right in front of you.
and it's just like, oh my god. And then you get like Jack trying to force feed you, like, while you're wearing the VR headset.
Yeah.
If I were to like, I keep seeing that and I'm like, oh my god, this is so good.
I can imagine it just like playing it like with the controller and watching it on the screen, and then saying, oh, I'm going to replay it with VR this time, being a completely different like experience, even though you already know what's going to happen, because you've got those characters right in your face, like screaming at you, and got those monsters in your face. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think I could do that just yet.
and even the DLC that it comes with is fantastic. Like, you got Ethan Must Die mode, where pretty much you just had to try to go through the house without getting hit once.
Wow.
And there's also Jack's 50th birthday.
I've heard of that one. I haven't seen much of the DLC, but I've heard of that one.
That's a very fun mode to play. But then there's also like 2 like story heavy DLC. No, 3 actually. There's 3 heavy story DLC games. There's the escape room, where pretty much you had to try like escape from the bedroom that the camera guy is pretty much like stuck in. And you're on a time limit as well, so you gotta make sure that that Marguerite doesn't catch you, which in itself is freaky. There's also blackjack with Lucas.
I think I've seen a bit of that one.
That one is really cool. It's insane because like if you know how to play blackjack, you're good. But in terms of Resident Evil 7, it's great. And I forgot the name of the third one, but you pretty much know what happens at the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who don't know what happens here, spoiler alert, I am putting it here right now. Chris Redfield comes up.
Chris boulder punching Redfield.
And then like the last part of the DLC is pretty much him trying to find Lucas with what's called Blue Umbrella, as they're called.
Yeah, it's still really weird seeing Umbrella be good.
Yeah, I'm like, huh.
Seeing Chris work for them, it's like, excuse me, what?
I think this is the case of the BSAA and Umbrella just like kind of like merging in a way. But it's still weird. It's like, is this damage control that Umbrella's doing? Is there ulterior motives?
You can tell that Chris is still kind of like, just turn up at the end, just Umbrella stuff, and to be like, "Hi, I'm Redfield," and like, why are you with Umbrella? Hello.
Like the first time he just comes up, he takes off the helmet. I'm Redfield. What?
I remember watching it and just being like, because before I hadn't played it, I knew of Chris, but I was still like, what? Aren't you a good guy? Like if it were me, I just put up a picture next to him, like, that ain't you. That ain't Redfield. You're supposed to be punching boulders.
Well, what about you? What's your favorite?
It's really hard to say at the moment, but it's probably between remake, like Resident Evil 2 remake and the original Resident Evil 2.
Oh.
Like, it's very close between them. I haven't played like a crazy amount of the games yet. I own a lot of them. I just haven't played all of them yet.
Yeah.
But out of the ones that I have played, Resident Evil 2 obviously the remake's gonna be something special because that's what got me into the series.
Yeah.
But going back and playing the original Resident Evil 2, like, I just felt like that game is just, not comparing it to the remake, is really good still. Like, it's so well designed. You can flow through it so easily. I finished it in probably maybe 2 days, 2 sessions of just playing it for a few hours. And, is that with both scenarios? I don't remember if I finished scenario B yet, but I definitely finished A. I started on B, but I played quite far into B, but I don't think I finished it yet. But I'd say it's like between those two. It's really hard to pick though which one I enjoy more. I'll probably have to play not remake. I've played remake way too many times. I don't need to play that anymore. But I probably have to play the original, like, to try and figure out which one of those I like more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like 2. The story, the characters, the monsters. Just, I feel that 2 flows so easily. Like, in both versions, like remake, there's a couple of bits that are like aren't done as well, I think, as in the original. Like the zapping thing, I feel was like, you fight William in both scenarios, and that it's a bit of a mess at times, I feel. Then it's not perfect in the original, but it's still, both games flow so easily. Like the layout and everything is so easy to remember. I really love that about both of those games. Even though it technically is like the same kind of game.
Like, same in a kind of loose sense. Because like with the original, it's coded, so it's like these things are set to happen. When it comes to the remake, it's much more random.
Oh, especially Mr. Bloody X.
Oh yeah, especially with Mr. X, because he could just come up out of nowhere and you wouldn't even suspect it. Like you can play the game, you can play Remake multiple times, and you can kind of get a hang of Mr. X's patterns. But on the other hand, you might not know all of them.
Oh god, yeah. I was playing it. Since 3 got announced, I've been replaying 2 just to kind of get me excited again for it. And I've played the game so many times that I know what to do in preparation for when Mr. X comes, to make like that puzzle in the library so much easier. If he's following me, I can set things up in advance. But I was playing, I think it was the B scenario for Claire, and I walked through a door and he was on the other side, and I didn't expect him to be there, and it scared me so much that I actually paused the game in panic, because I did not expect him. I played through that so many times, and he'd never been through on the other side of that door when I'd gone through it before. Opened that door and I was just like, oh my, hello.
Yeah. Especially because like with Mr. X in 2 remake, he's like so towering the entire time. And then like you hear the giant thumps when he's walking, and I'm like, oh god, I gotta prepare.
You can tell how close he is, or if he's walking away. It's just like, just hearing that, even if it's in the distance, you're like, oh, shit, he's coming. Oh no.
And also because like the other thing, he's silent the entire time in terms of like vocal. Like he doesn't say anything, he doesn't grunt, he just does.
He just walks.
And punches like really hard.
Yeah. Just
like the first time I got punched by Mr. X in the game, I'm like, oh my god.
This man is trying to kill me. He's like, going to.
I feel that in Remake 2, he poses much more of a threat than he did in the original.
Yeah, because in the original, he pops up in certain areas. You don't even need to fight him. You could just run away and leave the room, I think, for the most part, because he doesn't follow you. At least not all the time. I
think also because of the fact of change in technology. You know, we got much more advanced tech than we did back in the 90s with the PlayStation. So the fact that they're able to do so much more with Mr. X in the remake is astounding.
Yeah, and it just makes me worry about what a certain boy's going to be like in the next game. Oh no.
Well, we can get to that when we get to that topic.
Yeah. just oh gosh. Just imagining that.
Oh man. So I feel like we can switch gears into least favorite RE game.
Oh gosh. Do you want me to go first?
I mean, I already have this one planned out. For me, it's 6.
Yeah, I could guess that.
It's just, I get what they were trying to do. Like they wanted to mix horror and action, and like maybe do like both with Jake's, but the only good scenario was Leon's, and that was it. But even then, the character's motives is just off.
Weird.
Yeah, because like you got Leon trying to stop Chris to stop Ada, and it's like, wait, what?
There's too much going on. There's way too much going on.
It's like I do need to play the game again. I need to play it again so I can like fully grasp on on everything that happens in that game. But
you need a big refresher of what the hell is happening.
But one thing I do like is that they added running while shooting.
Oh yeah.
Which is a plus, because everyone's been wanting that for ages.
Makes it so much easier to play at times.
Yeah. But I felt like I was playing 5 again, you know? And like, while I did enjoy 5, not to the extent of 4, I felt like it could have done a lot more to do with RE giraffe blowjob.
I can't unsee that.
I
cannot unsee it.
Like,
as soon as I saw someone I saw someone message, like, put it in like a YouTube comment or a Twitter post or something, and I was like, what the heck? What are they talking about? I looked at the image, I'm like, I cannot unsee this, and every time I look at it on my PlayStation like menu, I'm just like, oh, I cannot.
Especially when people make like visual representation of
oh,
what
God.
it would look like.
Luckily, I haven't seen any of that, but...
Oh my god. Just be glad.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so...
For me, I'd probably say 6 as well. Like, I'm playing 6, like, now. Like,
yeah.
I was playing it before we started this, because I finished Leon's campaign. I'm now doing Sherry's, because I wanted to play as Sherry. Well, Jake's, because I wanted to play as Sherry.
Yeah, you need to play with Jake.
Yeah, I want to play Sherry, because I love Sherry. But, I wanted to, like, out of the ones I've played so far, it's just, there's too much going on, there's too much action in it, and I think I heard that it was kind of in response, like 5 and 6 or even 4 were all in kind of response to the movies, like being very action and getting more.
I kind of felt like 4 was somewhat of a response to that.
Yeah.
Because, like, especially when it gets to, like, the laser scene in 4, and it's like, yeah, this is the movie.
This is the movie. Just, yeah. But out of the ones I've played, again, not many, but 6 is the lowest on the list. It's not terrible. It's playable. It's enjoyable, like, to some extent, like, just being a silly action game. But to me, it's not Resident Evil. It's not what I see as Resident Evil.
Yeah, I get that entirely.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about we go a little deeper into favorite characters now?
Yeah. Love talking about favorites.
And it could branch off into zombies and monsters as well. So you can go pretty much wherever.
Yeah. Cool. So, I could probably talk about favorite characters and favorite monsters and that for a very long time. Would you like to go first?
I'm gonna say Resident Evil 2 Remake Leon.
Oh yeah. I think that's my favorite version of him.
Yeah, because, like, I like what they did. I like original Leon as well, and I love 4, but seeing, like, young Leon, like, in his first day of the RPD,
little baby face.
Yeah, it's like, I kind of relate to him in a way, you know?
He's a normal person still in a ridiculous scenario.
Yeah. But, like, they did Leon so well in the remake. Like, the person they got to voice him and, like, do the mocap and animation for him, top notch. I love him so much. And, like,
really well done.
And, like, even, like, as you're playing, you see him grow into what he would later become in 4. So it's like, with all of that happens, and then you, like, transition into 4, it's like, huh, he went from RPD to the government.
And you can definitely see that with him in that game. Like, you can see him starting off as, I have no idea what I'm doing, to let's kill William Birkin and tyrants, and yeah, you can see him getting ready to do all that stuff in the future.
And then, like, if we're to branch off into favorite monsters, honestly, I'm gonna say Nemesis.
Ah, Nemi.
Yeah, such a great monster. Like, I love the design, I love how he acts, I love his attacks, I love everything about him. He's so cool. Like, the first time I saw Nemesis, I think it was in Resident Evil Apocalypse, the movie. And I thought he looked so badass. Like, an intelligent, like, zombie, which was pretty much like Day of the Dead, you know, like with the character Bub. You know, they gave a zombie intelligence, you know? And then, like, seeing that, I'm like, oh my god, they did it in Resident Evil.
And they made him super buff.
And the first... Actually, wait, no, the first time it wasn't Resident Evil Apocalypse. It was Umbrella Chronicles. Yeah, it was Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles that I first saw Nemesis. Like, he's yelling stars, and I'm like, who is this?
Who are you? Why do you want the stars?
I'm just playing as Jill. Like, I'm just playing a rail shooter. I don't know you. But, like, as soon as I got to learn who he is, I'm like, wow, this thing is cool. All right. So what about you?
So with me, it's really hard. Like, I love so many characters. Really hard to pick certain ones I love. Like, and which one is my favorite?
Yeah.
It's definitely between Jill and Claire, because I just think that they are the best, like, my personal favorites, and I feel that they're the best Resi characters. Because they're both. It's always really cool to see like female characters being leads in their own stories and stuff, which I really like. And then it's really like Jill obviously is the original, like, from the original game, and Claire is just a normal girl stuck in, again, like a really ridiculous situation. And I just feel that they're such cool characters and they need to be put in their own game together.
I wouldn't mind seeing a game with Claire and Jill.
I think it'd be really cool, because it'd just be like, I mean, I was gonna say, it's like we haven't had a game with just like female characters, which would be really cool. We had that in kind of Revelations 2.
Yeah.
But we also have Barry, because Barry's awesome.
I mean, especially because we haven't had Barry in a game since the first game.
Yeah, let me just say as well, Barry is also top tier.
Oh yeah,
Barry is an amazing character.
Like, I love Barry. I love his character. I love his gun. I love his beard.
I love his ridiculous voice lines from the first game.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Jill Sandwich, Barry Burton.
Hope this isn't Chris's blood.
Whose else's blood would it be? Well, we're gonna go find him. With favorite monster as well, it's like a duo, because I can't pick between them. I love so much William Birkin's G forms and Alexia Ashford's final forms. Like, I love them so much. I really enjoy seeing characters like that you see as human and then transform into these really grotesque and weird monsters. I've always loved that in whatever it is. I feel it either, if it's a good character becoming a monster and like you don't want them to become a monster, it's always really impactful. And if it's a bad person becoming a monster because of like their own things, whatever they've done, it's really kind of creepy that they, in Resi, that some of these do it to themselves. Like Alexia does it herself, William does it to himself, and I just really love it. In 2, I love how William is more like, his design is more fleshy.
Yeah.
Because in the original, it's weird to describe, because it's more like it's just like dark black skin, and he's got like a metal face, it looks like in some bits.
It's kind of like his skin is like stretched.
Yeah, it's I don't like it as much. Like, it still looks really cool, but I love that in remake they made him just like, his skin is all gone, it's all fleshy and gross. I just think that's perfect for a virus that just keeps mutating and keeping it alive. I think that was really good. And also seeing William's face in like different places on the body as it becomes more of a monster is just so creepy. It's brilliant. And Alexia is just such a cool design. I just think it's really cool having this virus turn someone into like, she's kind of like a tyrant, a leafy tyrant. She's got leaves on her. She's more plant-like, but she still has fire powers. I really like her. I really like her character and her brother as well. They're up there as favorite characters as well. I have too many. But I really enjoy those two monsters. They're probably my favorites.
Okay. All right. Now we switch it again to least favorites.
This is gonna be hard. I like all characters to some extent, unless they're complete horrible characters. But
yeah,
it's really hard to pick. I've got one in mind, but I think it's gonna be the most obvious one.
Go on.
Steve from Code Veronica. Like, I like him. I do like Steve. I think that he could have been a good character, but his voice is so annoying, and he's always trying to flirt with Claire. Stop it. It's kind of why I want Code Veronica to get remade, because I want them to give Steve a better voice, make him more likable, because I feel he could have been a likable character. And as I said, I do like him, but as I played more, I started realizing, yeah, I understand why everyone hates Steve. He's really annoying.
Like, I remember when my Let's Play group, SGB likes to play, we LP'd Code Veronica. And we had such a huge disdain against Steve. Because he was not a good character at that point. It's like, his voice didn't help either, at all. Like, it just sounds whiny the entire time.
Yeah, they fixed it in Darkside Chronicles. They gave him actually a voice that I think kind of suited his personality. He's still annoying in that, but I think they just kind of giving him a much more normal and less whiny voice just helped, like, make him that little bit less annoying. Obviously, Darkside isn't like a full remake; it's like a light gun shooter game, but
yeah, it's a rail shooter, but it pretty much gives an abridged version of what happens in these select games.
Yeah, but they did fix him in my mind. In that, it's like if they remake him, just continue with Steve in that direction. If you're remaking Code Veronica, which I really hope they do. I
feel like they might do it if there's enough demand for it.
Yeah, it was a given that 3 would get remade after 2, like,
which also definitely like made correct that they were both being developed at the same time.
Yeah.
But do you have a least favorite monster as well, or?
Oh, it's hard to pick monsters because they're all just gone out of my head. Apart from like the ones that I really like, I hate. Because I finished Code Veronica a couple of days ago, it's really in my head. I hate the moths. There's a specific corridor in that game which is full of poison moths, and I'm like, why? They're nowhere else in the game if I can remember, but every time I go through there, I get attacked, I get poisoned, and then I have to try and find a blue herb. So they're my least favourite, just because of that one corridor in that game. I hate them. They're horrible.
I get you on that.
Yeah. What about you then? What's your least favorites?
This one kind of goes towards both least favorite character and monster.
Ooh.
And it's James Marcus from Resident Evil 0.
Oh, yeah.
I get what they're doing with him. I get what they're doing with James. But slugs.
Ugh.
The entire way.
Are they slugs or are they leeches?
Leeches. They're leeches.
Yeah,
I thought that I would try to remember they were slugs or leeches. No, they're leeches.
They look kind of like slugs.
Yeah, but cool in concept, but I didn't like him a lot. I didn't think he was that cool of a villain or a character, to say the least. I
haven't finished I've started playing some of 0. Haven't finished it yet, but I do know most of the story for it, and I'm just like, I don't really like this dude, this villain, this character. It's like, eh.
Yeah, like it doesn't have the same kind of like impact like Wesker did, or Sadler, you know, or even the Bakers.
Yeah, it's not very memorable either, because if I remembered it, I probably would have said him.
Yeah, exactly. The point's proven.
Yeah, he's just kind of boring. Like, Steve is so annoying, but everyone is reminded of him. Everyone remembers him because he's annoying and not just bad and forgettable.
And then there's James Marcus, where it's just like, who is he?
Who? I don't even know if I really even like the way that he plays into the story of Ari, because I always liked how the idea of it just mysteriously leaking, or just that experiment going wrong and we didn't know how the experiment went, but having like it have to do with this one specific monster that was mimicking a scientist, if I'm remembering it right, that let it out. It's really weird. I don't know if I'm remembering it right, but I never really liked how it was.
Like, William Birkin and Wesker were part of the reason.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much me.
Just, I don't like the leech man. I don't like him.
I'll say this: he has a good opera voice, but that's it.
I've got a playlist of loads of Resi songs, and that popped on like every few minutes. I'm like, why? Go away. But yes, he's
Like,
got a good voice.
Weirdly enough, every time he sings like some like an opera, I'm reminded of Parasite Eve.
I want to play that. I haven't played that.
Oh, it's great. Like, Parasite Eve is so good.
I know it's Square Enix, and I thought,
Yeah,
when I heard Square Enix in a horror game, I was like, what? I must play.
Like, it's a really fun action RPG. I think you would enjoy that.
I want to get around to playing it someday. I've seen a little few bits on it now and then.
It's great. Like, it's such a good game. Let's change gears now to a memorable Resident Evil moment. So, like, pretty much the thing that really got you into, like, made you a fan of Resident Evil.
Oh, that's a hard one to narrow it down to just one moment, because obviously all of 2 got me into that. You go first, and I'll think. The entirety of 2.
Like, I think for me was it's going back to Resident Evil 4. The first time you see the chainsaw guy.
Oh god.
First time seeing him, you hear the chainsaw rev, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. Like, I think that's pretty much the most memorable for me, because, like, it's one of the first things that happens. It's the first thing that you hear. Like, when you start off in the village in Resident Evil 4, and I'm
first thing I thought of when I heard that chainsaw when playing Summon 4 is, oh no, there's a chainsaw. Like, you're just like, this is gonna be amazing, and I'm like, oh no.
You just hear in the distance.
You just see me walk away like, I'm done with this. Nope.
It's like, nope, turning this off. Wait, I just started. Turn it back on.
We're 5 minutes into the game.
Like, I feel like that's what sold Resident Evil for me, is that moment, just seeing a chainsaw.
Oh, I can't think of anything. I think I'd probably say that the entirety of 2 definitely was what made me, like, fall in love with the series so much. But some of the moments from that, where I feel really made an impact on me, was Mr. X chasing me. Because that scared me so much.
Like, as soon as you see him lift the helicopter in front of you.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, I'm going the other way. I'm going back down. I'm pretty sure he ran all the way back to the nearest save room and just hid in there.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what to do. Like, oh my god, I can't kill him. I don't know what I've got to do. He's gonna kill me. That was a big moment for me.
Which I actually learned you can use a flash grenade to kind of stun him. Like, I never knew you could do that.
I was just panicking. I just run. I don't try and shoot him. I don't try and use anything on him. I just try and run whenever I see him.
But which is pretty much what they want you to do. Is like, as soon as you see him, just get away. But you do get the achievement of if you shoot his hat off.
Yeah.
Which is always a plus, because like as soon as they gave him a hat, I'm like, oh, he looks better.
Yeah, I feel like looking at his older design, like the one from the original 2, I don't like it as much. It just looks kind of boring compared to him. Like, just giving him a hat just gives him more personality. It makes him more interesting. You're like, this guy looks kind of smart. He's gonna kick my ass, but at least he has style.
I feel like it also kind of helps, again, going back to like the advance in technology. And then like seeing like his skin just look leather, you know?
Yeah, it's all kind of like wrinkled. It doesn't look normal. It looks kind of weird and rubbery and not human.
It's
in the original, he just kind of had like a normal face
with like brick fists. But like, yeah, it's like Mr. X just works so much better in the remake, but that goes without saying, because again, it's the advance in technology. But you can still appreciate how Mr. X pretty much laid a foundation in the original 2.
I think one other thing that kind of got me really into it is before I got into the series, I really heard a lot of music from it, but I didn't hear too much. Like, I heard kind of like the generic kind of when you're walking around.
Yeah.
When I got into the series and was thinking about getting, like, other games, I started listening more to different music. And I had no idea before getting into this series how much like epic orchestra, like big like music there was. There's like music at the end of 2. There's the final boss in Revelations has some beautifully awesome music. Alexia's final battle, like they all had so much good like powerful music, and I had no idea that this series had music like this before getting into it. And that's like, I love music in games, so hearing that I was like, okay, I'm happy with this. This is good. This is good music.
Like, that's kind of like a weakness for me in terms of music. If you have like a big orchestral sound going on, it's like it might be one of my favorite themes in your whole soundtrack.
I feel like recently I've just been listening to, because obviously finished Code Veronica, 3's getting remade, super hyped. I've been listening to Alexia's theme like every day, at least once. It's so good. It's such a good song.
I feel like now you got cosplay as Alexia.
I have been thinking about cosplaying Alexia in both mutant and normal form, so maybe I'll do that next year. But I'm kind of like, how would I do the mutated form? Because that's the one I'd really want to do.
That'd be cool. That'd be very cool.
And you don't see it done much, so that'd be really cool. It's on the list. It's on the list of cosplays. the very long list.
Oh boy. Yeah. I actually, but speaking of cosplays, I remember I went to a horror movie convention, and there was this one person cosplaying as Nemesis.
Oh, nice.
And it was accurate to the T. Like, he even had like a Gatling gun, but like it actually spun. Like, he hits a button and it spins the entire time. It's like, that is amazing.
That is so cool. I've cosplayed Jill. But
I've seen that one. That it looks really good, by the way. That's a really cool cosplay.
Thank you. It was very kind of like last minute, because I normally like to get ideas of cosplays I want to do for the next year, kind of at least a few months before the year starts, so I have enough time to prepare.
Yeah.
Obviously, Resident Evil 2 came out in January. My first convention was in May, so I was like, okay, I need this, and this. I need to make this. I'm going as a Resident Evil character. I don't care. So I just picked Jill, and I was like, yeah, I look good. I think this looks good. So I'm very happy with that.
Which is also kind of weird when, like, you see Jill in, like, Marvel vs. Capcom, like, 2. And, like, seeing her as, like, as a 2D character instead of 3D. It's weird at first, but it looks really good still. And then, like, one of her, super moves is actually releasing the Tyrant from the first game.
Oh, that's really cool.
And it looks great. It looks really good. and then 3 and Infinite came out. Resident Evil in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you had Chris and Nemesis. And same thing in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Actually, wait, no. In 3 DLC, there was Jill. Resident Evil 5 Jill. It's still Jill.
I don't mind that design. I do like that design, but
yeah,
it's weird seeing her blonde.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Like, stick with the brunette or brown hair. That's it. That's Jill. But then it's like the blonde came out. I was like, huh.
I just imagine Wesker just sitting her down, and she's like, okay, you're now under my control. I'm gonna dye your hair to prove it.
Like,
she just sat there dyeing her hair.
and then he's looking at it, is like, wrong. Do it again. It's like 7 minutes. 7 minutes is all you need to dye your hair blonde.
Oh god, that's brilliant.
Which I gotta say, DC Douglas as the voice of Wesker is amazing. Like, yes. He's such a good voice actor.
He's such a good voice for Wesker.
Alright, so we can change gears again to what RE games do we currently own?
Ooh, I've got them all next to me because they're on a little shelf, so I can name all of them off.
I can name all of them off, I just didn't bring them with me. But I remember them. What
do you got?
Okay.
I know you got some ones recently as well.
Yeah, I did. So, like, we're gonna go by console. So, PS1, I got Director's Cut of the first one, Resident Evil 2, and 3. My copy of 3 came with a Dino Crisis demo disc as well.
I love Dino Crisis.
That's the next series I want to get, is the Dino Crisis games, especially.
I have a love for that series because it was technically the first horror game I played for like 5 minutes every day until my parents sold it because it scared me so much and gave me nightmares.
It's like they're at, okay, we need to make a new series. Okay. All right, Resident Evil, yeah. Jurassic Park, okay. Put them together. Oh.
Boom!
And then, like, I feel Dino Crisis is much more underrated compared to Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's such a niche title.
And it sadly fell off fairly quickly with 3.
Yeah. Which is also, I believe, a rail shooter.
They got. I think there's 1, 2. There's 3, and then I think there's also a Dino. I can't remember what it's called. There is a rail shooter though, but I can't remember what it is.
Like, I remember, I think 3 being in space.
Yeah, space with like mutant alien dinosaurs.
And it's just like, what?
How did you go from this to this? Please explain.
It's extremely weird, and you wouldn't expect dinosaurs in space.
Yeah.
It's like, I know the meteor killed the dinosaurs and it came from space, but guys.
Didn't also know the dinosaurs were from space.
Yeah, exactly. But let's see. PS2, I got Resident Evil 4 and Code Veronica X.
Mm-hmm.
For GameCube, it's Resident Evil Remake. I still need to get 0 and 4. I can't really say much about 2 and 3 because those games are expensive.
Oh yeah.
For DS, weirdly enough, I got Deadly Silence.
I saw that on sale recently for like £20, and I'm like, do I do it?
'Cause, like, here's the thing with it. With Deadly Silence, it's the original game. Like, it's the original Resident Evil game, but you can play it in one of 2 ways. You can either play it like regular, or you can play what's called the Anniversary Edition, which is like pretty much there's a mini game that comes up where you had to like use the touchscreen to like knife zombies that are approaching you, which is fun.
I know about that. That sounds fun. Sounds fun.
But like, it's just the original game on the DS.
Yeah, I still want to get it. I'm trying to get as many as I can.
Yeah.
Just to own as many as I can.
And then PS4, which is...
That's a lot.
Yeah, I got 2 remake, I got 4, I got 5, 6, and 7. I still, like... As soon as, like, they announced, oh, we're releasing 4, 5, and 6 on PS4, I was like, I gotta get it now.
Goodbye, money.
$60 on all 3. But they also released... Oh yeah, Origins Collection. I got that too, which comes with 0 and 1 remake.
Yeah.
Like, they also released them on the Switch, and I want them.
I want them on the Switch. I don't think we got a physical copy in the UK because I haven't seen it anywhere, but I know some places got physical copies, which annoys me because I want them.
The US definitely did. I can tell you that. Like,
I really want it.
I mean, thankfully the Switch is region free, so if you were to if you were to import them, you're good to go.
Yeah, it's just the money importing it sometimes can be ridiculous. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Do I want to play that, or do I just wait until I find it at a convention? Probably convention.
But with the Switch versions, they have in Origins Collection they have 0 on the card, but you need to download 1.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, and then
they did that with some of the Final Fantasy games as well.
I believe with 10 too, yeah.
Yeah.
But when it came to like the dual pack of 7 and 8, it's all 1 card, I think. But same thing with the triple pack, which came with 4, 5, and 6. 4 is on the card, but you have to download 5 and 6.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain. Wish it was all on the cart.
And then there's Revelations 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's cool that they put them all on the Switch.
Yeah, because like it just makes sense in a way. It's like pretty much 4 is on everything essentially.
Yeah, 4 could be on like it's 4 is the Skyrim of Resident Evil.
Yeah, essentially.
It's been put on everything.
And speaking of 4, I got 4 on the Wii.
Woo!
And like I haven't looked back ever since on that one. But
like the baby, the child.
Yeah. But that's mine though. So what do you got?
I have, I'll start off with PlayStation as well. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, which
Nice.
they're just the normal versions.
Yeah.
For PlayStation 4, I have Origins 2, 4, 5, Revelations 1 and 2, and 6 and 7.
Nice.
And then for the Wii, I have Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside Chronicles, which I need to finish both of those, but I'm really enjoying just having fun playing a light gun shooter. And then for the PlayStation 2, I have Code Veronica X, 4, Outbreak, and Dead Aim. Outbreak's the first one, not the second one. But
yeah.
Yeah, and I've got a good collection for only a year. I feel that's quite a lot.
Because like when I went to a convention at the time of this recording, it was on Sunday on the 15th. And I was pretty much on the prowl just for Resident Evil games. So when I was searching, I found 4 and Code Veronica X and Director's Cut. The thing is, one of the vendors was selling Resident Evil Survivor on the PS1, you know, the first-person shooter.
Yeah.
But they were selling it for like $35, and I'm like,
ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, especially because I could find it kind of cheaper online. Like I think like the most I'd pay is like $25 at most.
I do have some GameCube games for Resident Evil coming for Christmas because I bought them and I'm like, Mother, could you please wrap these for me so it looks like I have more presents because I am a child. So I bought Resident Evil 1 Remake for GameCube. These are all for GameCube. Resident Evil 1 Remake, Code Veronica, Resident Evil 2, 3, and 0. And they were about £6 and £9 for 0 and Remake, and then the others were like 20 quid. So I'm like, okay, it's worth it.
So you pretty much have the entire GameCube collection of RE.
Yeah, apart from 4.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised they didn't have. I thought they would have been more 4. More 4.
So we pretty much like said our collection of RE games we got. So which ones are we needing? Like which ones are we missing to get?
Quite a few, but
yeah.
I cannot remember what they are.
Like I know I'm missing Umbrella and Darkside Chronicles, but there's also 0 and 1 Remake on the Wii.
Oh yeah, I've seen those, but I haven't picked them up for whatever reason. They were fairly cheap when I saw them. I just decided, no, I don't want them now. I don't want to buy Resident Evil stuff today. I'm on a Zelda hunt.
For the PS1, I know I'm missing like original RE1 and DualShock RE1. For PS2, I'm missing the Outbreak games and Dead Aim. Oh yeah, and Survivor on the PS1, I'm missing that too.
Yeah, I need to get Survivor.
For GameCube, it's pretty much everything else except Resident Evil 1 Remake.
Everything I had.
Yeah, essentially.
You've got 4. Did you say 4? You had 4 for GameCube?
No, Remake on GameCube.
Oh, you had Remake. Well,
like,
everything I have except for 4, because I don't have 4.
Like, at that convention, they had Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube, but it was player's choice, and it was about $22. And I'm like, I could do a little better. I felt like I should have haggled, but yeah.
Haggle.
And
that's interesting word, sorry.
For PS4, I'm also missing Revelations 1 and 2.
I really enjoy the Revelations games. I feel like they don't get enough. I can't speak. Don't get enough recognition. There you go.
I think it's mainly because like they're just looked at as side games, pretty much.
Yeah.
But they still have relevance to the story.
And they have Barry. At least one of them does.
I think it was 2 that had Barry.
Yeah, 2 had Barry. I really enjoyed playing as Mr. Barry Burton.
Now,
Very
if I were
fun.
to branch out a little more, I'm missing Revelations on the 3DS.
Yeah, I don't have any 3DS games
Like
for
that
Resi games.
that one and Saturn Resident Evil 1.
There's also, I think there was also the Resident Evil for Mercenaries game for the 3DS as well.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, I only got reminded of it like randomly the other day. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing as well.
I completely forgot about that.
Pretty much the same reaction. Just we both like, yeah, that's a thing. That happened.
Like, yeah, it's just called Mercenaries 3D.
Yeah. I remember seeing it years ago when the 3DS first came out, and I was just like remembered it recently. It's like, yeah.
But there's also Operation Raccoon City
Yeah.
and Umbrella Corps.
Just like that awkward silence of, yeah, that's a thing.
it's like ugh, Umbrella Corps.
I wouldn't mind playing Operation Raccoon City, but Umbrella Corps, yeah, that looks not really something. I'd probably get it eventually just because I can. But...
Yeah. And this one's the most expensive one, I think. Resident Evil Gaiden on the Game Boy Color.
Ooh, yeah. If I could get that, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, but that game's expensive.
Yeah, I love getting like the really rare old stuff, especially if it's old stuff, because I'm just like, it's special, it's mine. But that's gonna take some time to find something like that.
Actually, okay, wait, no, these are all repros. Okay.
Are you checking currently?
Yes, I am.
Yes,
I am, because I see it right here for $700.
Woo! It's a lot of money.
I'm like, I love Resident Evil, not that much.
I love you, but not that much. Not today, Resident Evil. Maybe if I win the lottery.
Maybe.
It's like with Mother cartridges, like Earthbound stuff. I'm like,
yeah,
maybe.
All right. What about you? Where are you missing?
Oh god, pretty much most of the stuff that you were missing. I need like Survivor. I need one of the other Outbreak games. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much the same ones you are for the most part.
And Mercenaries.
Yeah, Mercenaries is just I completely forgot about that game until recently, like literally probably the other day.
It's like, oh yeah,
that's exists. A thing that exists. Yes. Oh my gosh.
There's also one more thing I forgot to mention in terms of like the games that I currently own. When Resident Evil 7 got announced, and they announced a special edition that was exclusive to GameStop.
You're gonna make me jealous now, aren't you?
Like they announced a special edition that was exclusive to GameStop in the US, and it's like, oh damn, I gotta get this because I'm actually really hyped for Resident Evil 7. And then when I got it, I was extremely happy because it's like, oh my god, I got this big box up for Resident Evil 7.
You got the cool collector's edition-y thing.
Like, it came with a steelbook case, a lithograph, and like let's see, there was a USB stick that was a mannequin figure. And of course the music box of the house that they were in.
Oh yeah, I love that. It looks so cool.
Like, actually, like hearing it play on that music box is like, it's heavenly. And like seeing the lights flashing in the windows is so cool.
Yeah, the lights. I looked that up the other day just because I was looking at Resident Evil stuff, and I thought, oh look up, I'll see what that was. And it looks so cool, and I didn't even realize the lights flickered in it. I was like, what? Now I want one. I also really want to get the Resi 3 special edition. I'm like looking every day. Has it been announced for the UK yet? Please be announced for the UK. I want it.
But like now it's like you look up the pricing on like the music box by itself, and it goes for as much as I paid for the entire special edition.
Wow. Yeah.
But I love it so much.
When I was looking up that music box, I found out that there is like a production of limited. I guess it was like a limited gift or pre-order, or I don't know if it's pre-order, but somehow there was like these Resident Evil Code Veronica ones with the lullaby music box from that game, and I'm like, I love that song, I want one, but I'm not spending £4,000 on one.
Oh my god.
Yes, I saw one for a ridiculous price. It was something like that, but I'm
like,
like,
recently Capcom's been going a little out of hand when it comes to these special editions. Like the DMC5 leather jacket.
Oh god, that's crazy.
That was like $1,000, I think.
Yeah, but people will still buy it.
They actually would, and it's like,
yeah,
why would you do that?
I mean, if there was something like really, really special for a Zelda thing that was that much money, I would probably try and find any way I could to buy it.
Or the $1,000 typewriter edition of Resident Evil 2 Remake.
What? I haven't even heard of that.
Oh, you haven't heard of that?
No!
Oh, it's so cool, but it's so expensive.
It sounds cool, and it sounds expensive. I need to just change how I'm sitting. I'm just getting, my leg's falling asleep.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'm sitting still. I'm like, leg, please don't fall asleep. I don't want pins and needles.
Oh god.
But I need to look that up now, because that's gonna make me sad for something that I can't own. Because it's
a lot of money.
I can imagine.
Like, I need to find this now because
You're gonna show me what it looks like.
Oh yeah, it's a Bluetooth keyboard, I think.
Whoa, that's cool.
Oh yeah, and there's Resident Evil 2 on the Tiger Gamecom. I forgot that was a thing.
What is a Tiger Gamecom?
Okay, so Tiger Electronics in the 90s made Tiger Electronic handheld. So pretty much they made these different versions of different games that came out in the 90s. They released Tiger Electronics released a console called the Gamecom, which was pretty much just like a giant Tiger Electronic handheld. But one of the games they were able to get onto that on that handheld was Resident Evil 2 on that.
Oh wow.
And it kind of looked and played like shit.
But I got it on there. It worked.
But wait, now, damn it, now I'm reminded of N64 Resident Evil 2.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
But like, it's kind of a revolutionary thing when it came to RE2 on the N64 because they actually put the FMV cutscenes in the cartridge. So it was kind of impressive at that time. It's like, wow, you guys were able to do that?
Yes, that's like that goes for a lot as well.
Yeah.
RE2 for PlayStation, not PlayStation, for N64. That I see it go for quite a bit, but I want it because it's Nintendo.
Like the most I've seen Resident Evil 2 on the N64 go for is like about $30. That's the most I've seen. But there was also Code Veronica on the Dreamcast.
Yeah. I think it originally came out for Dreamcast, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It originally came out on the Dreamcast. Like, I'm missing that, and also, I think Resident Evil 2 on the Dreamcast. I believe it's on the Dreamcast. I forget. But either way, I'm pretty much missing some games, but it's almost there.
Yeah, I'm missing quite a few, but I want to try and get as many as I can. Many different versions on different consoles, and yeah. One day... I've done it with Zelda. I'll do it with this.
It's a lot.
Yeah, the things we do for the games that we love.
Exactly.
Too much money.
Yeah. So I guess now we could go to what Resident Evil games we're currently playing.
Okay, I am playing 6.
Ooh.
I am playing 6, and I've also been playing through, what's its name? Let me look to the shelf next to me. Darkside Chronicles. There we go. I've been playing that on my Wii, and obviously 6 on my PlayStation.
Like, so, Darkside Chronicles is pretty much 2 and Code Veronica, right?
Yes, it's 2 Code Veronica, and then it's the Javier story where you see, what's his name, Jack Krauser from 4. kind of like before 4 with Leon and Krauser.
Okay, so it's the war.
And I don't know. It's like there's like it's something to do. I haven't finished it all, but it's like the T Veronica virus has been given out, and it's like these two people go. Yeah.
Just like you, I'm an American.
America.
That's still weird. That's such a weird line that he was given.
I'm playing through those though, and I probably, after I finish Dark Side, I'll probably play through Umbrella Chronicles. Umbrella Chronicles, there we go. I can't speak.
Umbrella Chronicles has 0, 1, 3.
And then I think like a small story.
Yeah, there's a small story of Jill and Chris going to Russia, I believe.
I would have played that one first, because obviously that's more in line with the timeline, is play that one first and that one, then Dark Side. Yeah. But I wanted to see the cutscenes from Code Veronica. I love that game so much. I love the twins so much. I wanted to see them because they look so good. They look really, really good.
For me though, I'm still playing Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Oh yeah, I'm still playing 2. I've played that every day this week.
Like, I'm still playing that, and yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think it's just Resident Evil 2 Remake.
I've replayed that game so many times, I've lost count. It's ridiculous.
There's still the updated demo as well.
Which, like, I am very, very happy that I've played that.
Like, this is just pretty much to get us hyped for Resident Evil 3 Remake.
Have you heard of the little secret that they put in that demo?
Which one? Jill's letter?
No, that's in the main game. The letters in the main game. There's a little secret of a certain sound effect that they've hidden in the demo.
It's when you go outside of the station, right?
Yeah.
Like, you go to one of the sides and you hear Nemesis saying stars.
Yeah. I didn't know about that, and I walked outside. I thought, I'm just gonna look around in the demo, see if there's anything they hid. And he walked to one side and just hear that stars. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. That freaked me out. It was so good though.
You just hear stars, like, oh,
I'm going that way. Oh, that was brilliant that they hid that in there though.
Like, I'm so excited for Resident Evil 3.
Same.
So much. Like, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be so good. I hope it's on par with Resident Evil 2 Remake. Because, like, if they put that much love and detail into 2, I want them to do the same for 3.
Yeah. And 3's gonna be really exciting to play as well, because playing through 2 and remake of 2, one thing I wanted to do was explore in the city more, and obviously 3 is set mostly in the city. Yeah. That's gonna be crazy, walking around the streets and just like trying to hide from Nemesis in like all these different places. There's so many new things that they could put into the game to do extra stuff, and like, I'm excited.
I'm like wondering if they're still gonna add in the choice system when Nemesis comes up.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I was wondering if they would either they'd do it the same way that they would in the game, or if they would just kind of hint at it, like, hey, you could do this, but you could also do
I
this.
feel like I feel like they might keep that in, because that was technically a core mechanic of the game.
Yeah.
But if they can like kind of revamp it a bit, I feel like it could still work for Remake.
Yeah. It's one of those things that in the game that it's like, will it work as well in the new version as it did in the original, or will they change it? Because what they could do is they could have someone like say something before like a choice happens, and then when that choice happens, instead of it stopping and you picking, you're thinking, oh, that person told me about this earlier, or it gives you like another choice at that time. So it's like you could go to here to save someone, or you could run over there. They could do it like that, kind of active, right at that moment. You have to decide which way you go or something, or they have the thing obviously from the original.
See, like, you bring that up, and I'm like thinking of Until Dawn. I feel like if they were kind of integrate a choice system like that, I feel like it might work. That
could work pretty well, yeah.
Like, that's just, I feel like they can do that, because it works pretty well with Until Dawn. And it's still, and it like affected gameplay pretty well. So I feel like if they were to like look at Until Dawn and like kind of base it around that, I feel like it can work for like a newly integrated choice system.
Yeah, it is interesting thinking about how it's going to work, like, because obviously they don't want to break up the gameplay so much, like with just stopping you dead in your tracks to make a decision, but at the same time they might keep it like that. It's, yeah, you don't know really.
Oh, you know what else I just realized? We're gonna see Brad die in HD.
Brad, no. I really like Brad. I know he's kind of a wimp, and like some people don't like him, but yeah. I like Brad.
Like, ironically, I also like Enrico from the first game.
Enrico?
Yeah. Like, it's mainly his voice and delivery. It's great. That's the ironic reason why I like Enrico. I'm been wondering if, because obviously with 3 coming out, they patched in, well, they put in the letter from Jill, and I was wondering if when 3 comes out, they would put into 2 the Brad zombie, because I know that's something that so many people have wanted. I wanted to see the Brad zombie when I found out about it from the original. I'm like, that would be so cool. So when 3 comes out, they could put that in there as just like a little Easter egg, kind of just have him as one of the zombies that are in that little area. I'd love that. That'd be cool. That'd actually be funny. Because he isn't there. You just got a little poster under the stairs, I feel. And then so like you could be playing as Claire or Leon on your B scenario, go down the stairs, oh crap, there's a zombie, shoot the zombie, you go back round, and when you go in there you're like, wait, this picture is the zombie I killed. You just feel like, oh, it's Brad, hi Brad. I feel like with us talking about 3, we kind of struck another one on the list on our thoughts on RE3 remake. Yeah, I was thinking, it's like, yeah, we kind of moved on to RE3 remake. Yeah, we did. Yeah. But well, I was very excited with that announcement. Yeah, that trailer. Like they were showing Project Resistance, and then they decided, oh, it's gonna be called Resident Evil Resistance, so it's called Riri. Riri. Oh gosh. I keep saying gush. I keep saying gush and gosh. But then 3 started to come up, like the first person view, like turning around, and then like out through the door here, and then it shows us Jill, and I'm like, yes. But I feel like I would have been more excited for it if it wasn't leaked. That's the other thing. Yeah, it's kind of sad that it was leaked. And it always happens. Like, yeah, it happens like a few days before as well. It's like with Pokemon, like that got leaked like not a few days, but very close to when it came out. And then with this, it's like very close to when it was announced. It's like, stop it. Please. I just want to be surprised. Like, I was really excited to see the image and to have all this hype about it, but at the same time I'm like, just imagine how much more exciting it would have been to see them say, oh, we've got the campaign story for Project Resistance, and we had no idea about 3, and then we're seeing this character who we don't know run away from the nemesis, and then it's just like Jill, and we're like, that would have blown everyone's brains. Yeah, it would have been such an amazing reveal if it wasn't leaked. Yeah. Like, everything that was shown during that state of play would have been up times a million if it wasn't leaked. And I'm on the kind of the same grounds as like the state of play in RE3. I feel like I'm one of the only people who's actually looking forward to Project Resistance. Oh no, I was too. I was really looking forward to it. I wouldn't have cared if it was its own game. Yeah, because like I wanted to sign up for the beta, but like I didn't get accepted, unfortunately. I did. Yeah, I know. You're just like, God, Jamie. It's like this bitch. She's only been like in the game like 4 months. But like as soon as they announced Project Resistance, I was like, this looks good. Like it's kind of like that Dead by Daylight type of game, an asymmetrical multiplayer game essentially. Yeah. But like instead you play as the puppet master essentially. Like you're the one pulling all the strings, and the other people gotta survive. But it was kind of strange playing it at first, and because I haven't played any of those, and then playing it
and like having to keep track of all these different monsters and like when to use them. Starting off, I was like, I'm just gonna throw everything at these people. The more you play, you're like, I'm gonna save this because I know where they're gonna go.
Because like just like Dead by Daylight, from what I'm seeing, there's a lot of strategy to be put into it. Like, it's all about that timing. But like, if Project Resistance was its own game, I wouldn't have minded because I thought it looked really good.
No, I wouldn't have mind. I was like getting really upset. Like, I felt personally attacked every time that they tweeted something about it, and I just looked in the comments and it's like, we don't want this. I'm like, I do. Why are you being so mean?
It's just like, it's still a Resident Evil.
It still looks fun.
Like, think of it like Outbreak in a way. That's pretty much what I was thinking of it. It's like Project Resistance is another Outbreak game.
I think some people were angry, one, because it wasn't Resident Evil 3, and some people were like, we want Resident Evil 3 or we don't want anything. And some people were angry because it was like, oh, we got a multiplayer game, but it's not Outbreak Remake. And I'm like, I would have liked an Outbreak remake. I think that would have been really cool.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, with actual, like, online that works.
Yeah. Like,
and voice chat and stuff.
Like, an Outbreak remake or sequel would be great.
Yeah. Give us Outbreak File 3. That'd be brilliant. But I don't care if we got that or if we got this, because this, especially after playing it, is so fun. It's really, really fun. And there's a mode, well, not really a mode, there's an option, if you're the mastermind, to talk to the survivors and taunt them. That is hilarious. And I was doing that as the mastermind on a couple of games, and funny enough, I met like the same girl as a survivor in both games I did that, and we were just laughing so much because she was like, I know your strategies now. I'm like, no you don't. I know what I'm doing. That's fun.
The other thing about games like Outbreak or Resistance or like Dead by Daylight or even Friday the 13th, they're easy to roleplay with because you can have so much fun doing it. You can act like the characters that you are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love that. I love the fact that people can get so into it that they act like who they're playing as.
And with Resident Evil Resistance, or just with that, I keep wanting to call it Project Resistance, and I'm like, no, that's wrong.
with
but with Resistance, they're adding in more characters as masterminds, and obviously as people you can play as survivors, and they're adding in Annette from RE2 as one of the masterminds with William as like her special attack. I'm like, yes, cool. I want to play as Annette. I love Annette. I think she looks awesome. And I want to control William Birkin. That is also awesome. Gimme. Just give me all the villains. Put Wesker in as a character controlling someone. Put Alfred from Code Veronica in with Alexia as his special attack. Yes.
If they were to put Wesker as a mastermind, they put in the first Tyrant as a special monster.
That'd be so cool.
Right? That'd be so amazing. Like, I would love that.
They could do so many. They'll probably put in, because obviously it's going to be on the same, like, coming out with Resident Evil 3, they'll definitely put someone in controlling Nemesis.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely will. I don't know who they'll pick. Maybe they could put in Nikolai, like, just because he's kind of a bad guy in that game. I don't know. But they could do that. They could put in, like I said, Alfred Ashford controlling his sister.
Yeah.
Like, some of them don't work, don't mix as well, maybe, like. But as long as I feel like the character, the mastermind, and the special attack has some kind of connection, works really cool, because you've just got Annette with her husband, who is a giant fleshy monster now.
But then it's kind of like, what if they were to put Lucas Baker as a mastermind? Who would they put in as like a special attack for?
I think they could put in like any of the family members that transform as like a special.
I feel like the one they could do would be Marguerite. Because she looks disgusting when you fight her.
She's so creepy. I don't like it. I don't like her design. It's so creepy.
It's like fighting a fleshy Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. That's the best way I could put it, because it's so gross.
I think another one would be what's his name? Is it Jack? I'm forgetting. The father.
Jack, yeah.
Yeah, Jack Baker. He'd be a good one to put in there, just as like, not even as his like mutated, any kind of mutated form, just him as him walking around with something like that would be freaky, because like they're limited time, so like
technically with like how he acts in the game, he is mutated.
Yeah.
You know,
like not one big monster, not a big over the top monster, just like a normal.
Just him shirtless, gets the big ass shovel ready.
Got the shovel. But like, because of the special ones, they're like limited time, they're limited like use. You use them when they time. They got like, I don't know, a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, or maybe a bit more. I don't know. They might change it, but you use them for a certain amount of time, and then they're gone until they maybe respawn. You might get them again. But just to have like you're playing and then have freaking Jack Breaker scream at you like you're like, excuse me, where did you come from? Lose it.
I feel like a minute is pretty generous, so I think like if they were to like extend it like a few more seconds, I feel like that'd be a bit too much.
I did find when I was playing the beta that Mr. X can just ruin a run, especially if you get him like it's random. I think it's pretty much random when you get the cards that can spawn the enemies in, but I had a few games where someone would spawn him in the second area, and then they'd get the card again and spawn him in the third area. I'm like, please don't. We're just our run is dead. You don't need to torture us anymore. We can't get to the end. Just so yeah, I think hopefully they'll sort that out more, because that just ruined a run.
Yeah.
Obviously, with more time and more people playing for longer, then people get used to them. But that just like hurt every time you were so close and Mr. X just turned up to punch you in the face and just be like, no, you're not leaving.
I do hope that like Project Resistance does get a bit more fleshed out as well.
Yeah.
Because like RE3, we got RE3, but then we got the multiplayer, which is Resistance, and it's like I want that to kind of build. I would love for that to be its own thing.
I wouldn't mind if they did like after 3's been out for a while. I wouldn't mind if they released the game separately, like by itself.
Yeah.
Like, I'd still buy it.
I would too, because it's such a cool package though.
Just being able to control characters from the series, like just like knowing that Annette's being put in and that you'll be able to play as her and William is going to be really cool, and like leads to so much more, like so many other different villain characters that could put in. They could put in Alex Wesker controlling something, I don't know, because that'd be cool. I like Alex.
I'm trying to think if there's like anyone else that they can add in terms of the mastermind, but I can't.
Oh god, what's his name? Salazar could be put in.
Oh god.
Oh god, that would be so funny. Have him torture, like talking to you as you're walking around. Just have the Salazar salad bar.
Like that'd be so weird. But
I think like just because it's a side game though, they could put in all of those characters that would just be weird picks.
I would like if they were to like add more like survivors, if they were to add like say like characters from Outbreak.
Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah.
It'd be like, okay, we heard you guys like Outbreak, so we're gonna put in some of the characters from Outbreak, and I'm like, that should be cool. I wouldn't mind a zombie elephant though.
I don't think anyone's gonna beat out Martin Sandwich as best name in a Resident Evil game. Just who named him? I need to give them like a high five. That's my favorite. Just oh my
top tier name.
That was definitely some guy in a Capcom office trying to make an American sounding name and just went Martin Sandwich.
Which is still kind of weird with like Resident Evil that like the entire game is voiced in English, but in Japan they have subtitles.
Oh yeah, I never really thought about that they would do that.
Like that's pretty much like Resident Evil 7 I think was the first game to be to have different languages. So it's like you can actually have the game be voiced in Japanese.
I bet that made some Japanese people very happy to finally stop reading subtitles.
But like also like how in Resident oh god.
That was my headphone popped out.
It's okay. But like also like how in like Resident Evil 7 they also put in the subtitle Biohazard, And then in Japan they called it Biohazard 7 Resident Evil.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm like, wow. They're acknowledging that it's called Biohazard here too.
I think it was really cool because it's kind of like, over here obviously it's Resident Evil, over there it's Biohazard, and it's like Resident Evil 7 is kind of the rebirth of the classic Resident Evil horror game kind of coming back. So to kind of acknowledge both titles was a really cool kind of nod, I feel.
Yeah.
Just like this is Resident Evil now. We're going backwards to what was good.
So like I feel like in our list we also pretty much went through our thoughts on RE2 remake as well.
Yeah. It is very good.
So we pretty much have like 2 more things left in this list.
Yes.
And like so like
quite well.
So like the first one of the last ones we're gonna go over is the movies.
Oof.
We've been here for like over almost an hour and a half, and we haven't fully discussed the movies.
They have to be mentioned somewhat.
They have to. So, and we're talking about both live action and animated.
When it comes to live action, I haven't watched them in a very long time.
Yeah.
But with the animated ones, I've watched a couple of them. I haven't watched the third one. I own the first 2. And I enjoy the animated ones. I think they're okay.
Like, I liked the first animated movie.
Yeah.
But not a lot, you know? Like, I know it's from Capcom, but in terms of, like, as a film, it wasn't that good. And I heard pretty bad things about Vendetta in the third film.
I heard a lot of bad things about the third film.
Yeah, it's kind of the point is just like, I don't think I want to watch them, but I still might have to because I watched the first one.
Yeah, I think the reason I like the first one so much, because I really like the first one. Like, yeah, it's not perfect, it has problems, it looks kind of janky, and the lip syncing is terrible.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it because it is playing off 2, and 2 is probably my favorite. It's definitely my favorite story because, I mean, my favorite is between original or remake.
Yeah.
So seeing Leon and seeing Claire and seeing the G virus all come back for a film was really cool for me. And I was just like, I get to see Claire. I love Claire. And I'm sad that she isn't in any of the other ones, any of the other films, which sucks.
We just have Leon.
Just Leon. Leon looks so weird in that first film. He looks
does.
like I didn't realize it as much until I was watching the other ones, but going back and like comparing him, like what did they do to you, Leon?
Especially with the first movie where they just pretty much made him a robot the entire time.
He's just like the same position for the entire movie, just like arms by his side, straight faced, staring deadpan at someone, just like, are you okay, Leon? Do you need a hug? Are you okay?
Who hurt you?
Who hurt you? What did they do to you in the Secret Service stuff?
Like, I know what happened in Spain is terrible, but dude, emote, please.
Do you need a hug?
Like, I feel I do need to watch the first one again, and I also I feel like I should still watch the other 2 movies just so I have like a perspective on it.
I'll probably get around to watching the third one at some point, and it's got Rebecca in it as well, which is kind of cool because Rebecca hasn't been seen for ages, and then she's in the newest animated film, which I thought was really nice to see her come back. I mean, I do like Rebecca.
You can still find that picture of Rebecca in her basketball outfit in Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah, and it's still just as weird.
It's like, yeah, Wesker wants that.
Wesker, she's like, what, 18 and you're like 32? Please calm yourself.
I think at that time he's in his early 20s or late 20s. I forget, because I remember them in the first in the live action clip in the first one. They announced they pretty much say everything.
Resident Evil lore's weird because obviously, well, not obviously, but for the longest time, I did think he was in like his 20s, and then I played Code Veronica, and it said he was like 37. I'm like, Code Veronica takes place only a few months after 2, which takes only a few months after 1. How old is this man?
Wait. Okay, wait, no, that's very bad quality. I need to find it proper. Because I'm on YouTube right now, trying to find this.
How old is Albert Wesker? Tell me the answers!
That's behind the scenes.
This is just turned into... How creepy is it for Albert Wesker to like Rebecca?
Okay, so what I'm seeing right now, it says he's 36. And yeah, Rebecca's 18.
That just makes it so much creepier. Is Rebecca just like is his secret adopted daughter and he's just very proud of her, or is this just even more weird?
I think it's just weird.
It's just weird.
The age gap is literally double.
Albert, chill out. Chill. She's 18. Oh my goodness. But apart from the creepy photo, yeah, you haven't seen her for a long time.
But like about the live action movies, like I still remember the first one being the best one, but that's not saying much.
I've not watched them in ages, but I remember the first one being like the first one, and I think it was the second one that had Jill and Nemesis in. Like those were the most entertaining ones. Like, and that's before I even knew about started playing the games. They're the ones I enjoyed the most. Like, yeah. The other ones, I'm like, even for a film, this is kind of poop.
The continuity in the movies suck too.
Oh god, yeah.
Because like we got the third film where everything's a desert, everything's a total wasteland, and then we go to the fourth movie and there's like buildings and cities and such. And I'm like, wait, what?
How quickly did you build this tower?
Especially in the third film, I think, where Wesker doesn't do anything.
Yeah. One thing I can just complain about for the whole series is Wesker sucks in those movies.
Yes.
He doesn't even look cool. He just looks like a generic blonde guy with sunglasses. Like Wesker, comparing Wesker in both like video game and the movies, like it's just like, why? It just looks like, boring.
In like the fourth film, like Wesker was fine. Because they more so based him off of Resident Evil 5, you know, because at the time that was new.
Yeah.
But they got like Resident Evil 5 Wesker, and they also got the Executioner from Resident Evil 5. But they got Ada, at least. And Barry. They got Barry.
Barry.
And Leon.
It is like they just take the characters, though, and it's like, hey, look, this is Leon. But like, he doesn't act like Leon. He acts like some random man. No, I've seen clips and I'm just like, that's not Leon. That's some creepy dude.
But what's also weird is that Barry didn't take out his iconic gun until like near the end. Like
I think Barry Burton.
I think like in terms of characters, the most they got correct, I want to say, is Nemesis and Ada.
And maybe Jill.
A bit of Jill.
Like Jill, they got the look definitely on. But
I would say Jill.
Even when looking at it,
I would say Jill like later on in the films, because like in like Apocalypse, it was bleh.
Yeah. If you look at her in Apocalypse, they got the look like spot on.
But
her
they don't have the character,
though,
right?
Yeah, her personality is very bitchy.
Yeah. It's like
Jill isn't that bitchy.
I remember Jill being head on, but I don't remember her being bitch.
It's like she just walks into a police station and starts shooting zombies. And I'm like, nobody questioned this? Nobody questioned just someone that you've taken the badge away from coming into the police station and shooting people that they are trying to arrest. So they think that these are just unruly people, and someone just comes in and shoots them. You're not going to question that?
I mean, like, especially because we didn't see her in the first film either. And it's just like, whoa, what's going on here?
It's like, I feel like they should have just, like, Alice is an annoying character because she is just a Mary Sue character.
Yeah, extremely.
What they needed to do is just make the films based off of the movies. Like, have Jill and Chris go through one. Like, they could have left Resident Evil, like, the first one as it is. Like, have it do what it wants.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hit my microphone. Let it do what it wants, but then make films off, like, because obviously, the one with Jill and Nemesis based off Resi 3.
Yes.
Make it so Jill is the main character. Make it so it is telling the story of Resi 3. Like, change it maybe to fit your narrative of what you signed up to in the first movie, but
there was
don't
also
need Alice.
there was also that whole love connection with Nemesis and Alice.
That's so weird.
I'm just like, this is why we have Nemesis, because it's her husband. The fuck is wrong with you?
You could have done this with Annette and William.
Yeah.
Like, that would have worked. Like, have
and
Annette not know that William has turned into this monster, and then she sees the G monster, and it's just like, William, is that you? That would have worked better.
I think also Claire was fine in the movies, but Carlos I didn't like a lot. Chris I really did. Chris I really didn't like.
Chris as well is like, because I think they were basing him more off Resi 5 Chris, but he looks more like Resi 1 Chris.
Yeah. And they got the guy from Prison Break to play Chris.
He doesn't look like Chris Redfield. He just looks like a generic dude.
And also, like, there was a scene, I think, in the fourth film where the dogs just kind of looked like Silent Hill dogs.
I need to say one thing. The CGI and the backgrounds in some of those movies are horrible. I have seen YouTube videos with better, like CGI quality stuff than that. Like, what happened? There's millions of dollars put into those movies, and some of them look terrible.
Yeah.
Just, what happened?
Like, I wanted to like the movies, but I can't. Like,
they're good movies if you want to just chill out, not care what's going on, and have a laugh.
Like, for action movies, fine. They're fine. But in terms of, like, as an actual film, like Resident Evil, nah, fam.
That's why I keep, like, when I heard rumors of Resident Evil getting, like, a Netflix series, I was like, that could be kind of cool if they did it like the original, like, kept to the gothic horror of the original first game and followed that story and didn't have it connected in any way to the movies. Like, I'd be down for that. But...
like, for the first film, actually, they were gonna have George Romero do the film.
Yes.
Because he did the Japanese commercials for Resident Evil 2.
Yeah. And they were really cool looking.
But because of how many changes were made, like, from the game, from this one source material to the next, it didn't work, apparently.
And it's so funny, it's like, you've changed Resident Evil too much, and then we get to the films that we got. That's not changing this. That's not changing the source material too much.
Like,
Excuse me?
I think in one case, Chris was a farmer.
I want Farmer Chris in a game, please.
You just see swole Chris, no shirt, undershirt, overalls,
just plowing those fields. So, oh my god, Farmer Chris Redfield, make it happen, Capcom.
But I feel like if for a series, like a series for Resident Evil, I feel like what they can do is kind of go the route that Castlevania did and make it animated.
Yeah.
Because with animation, you could do a lot.
The Castlevania anime as well is fantastic. Even if you don't really like the story of, like, how it went about stuff, I loved it. It was so good.
I still need to finish season 2.
Oh, it's so good.
And it's 8 episodes.
It sucks how short those series are, though, because they are so good. And I think Resi, I always say that if a video game gets turned into a movie, it's better off being put as a animated movie, unless it's something that's already very realistic, like changing something that's like a war game into like a film, like with live action. That works fine. Metroid, I think, is also a game that could work somewhat well with a live action. That's like the only Nintendo series I think would work well live action.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil could work live action, but I think it would work better with the classic designs of the characters in animation. I think that would work really well. Especially with how bonkers some of those monster designs are.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. But like, I know what the films are trying to do, but it just doesn't work for me. Like, for some people, it may work as like a straight action, as an action series, but just as Resident Evil films, it's not there.
It's like a fan film. Like, you take everything you like at the games, put in your bare bones Mary Sue OC character, and make them the winning person, the person who was the top tier, the best character in the series, and then you just put all your favorite characters in with it, and it's just like put it in a blender. Resident Evil movies.
I like to call it Reno, as in Resident Evil in name only. So it's spelled R-E-I-N-O.
Brilliant.
Well, we're on our last topic now. We've been at this for like nearly 2 hours.
Well longer than I thought it would be.
I know, right?
It's good talk about Resi.
So this is the last one. Ideas for Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Because here's the way I saw them. You got like the mainline games. It's like the first 3. You know, it's a fixed camera like action survival horror. Then you got the next trilogy, 4, 5, and 6, which are over-the-shoulder games. So I feel like for Resident Evil 8, they could follow with like how they did with Resident Evil 7, make it first person.
Yeah.
But I feel like it can follow Chris and like how Blue Umbrella works.
Yeah.
Like, what other outbreaks or bioweapons can happen when it comes to like Blue Umbrella doing this damage control?
Because 7 gave us like the mold creatures in it, so that was like a brand new like type of monster that we'd never seen before.
Yeah,
is the mold creatures, which is I really think they're a cool idea, because it's like a fungus, like a lot of other zombie like monster like media takes from like, oh, it was a fungus that corrupted people, so making a fungusy mold thing into its own monster was really cool. I feel
kind of like how Last of Us did it too, like where it's just pretty much like the fungus that takes over in ants, but made it into a bigger scale.
Yeah,
like I love that. So it's like if they can like try and like kind of, I feel like if they were to keep the mold, it should be fine. But if they were to like expand on it,
see what else it could do and like have it mutate or evolve. Yeah,
like see how it like maybe it affects like other places, but like
different climates.
Yeah, but
because like fungus changes in different climates in different places.
Yeah, but like if they're to like keep it first person, but like still focus on horror, like they did with Resident Evil 7, I feel like that might be able to work.
Yeah. When it comes to first person, I'm really like wondering if they will do it first person, because before 2 came out, I would have said they'd go first person again. But with how well Resident Evil 2 has done, and how well Resident Evil 3 remake is going to do, like it's already pretty easy to say 3 is going to do pretty well. Yeah. But with how well those games are going to be, are they going to go and just be like, we're going to do over the shoulder for all Resident Evil games now? Because it works really well. I personally, out of first person or over the shoulder, I'd say over the shoulder for me if I was picking, because I think that like I like that more. I like being able to see more of the environment. I like being able to see my character. But it's really interesting, like, which one would they pick? Which one do they think would be good for Resident Evil 8 and not just a remake of an older game?
Yeah. Like, I really do hope they expand further with the gameplay that they gave us for Resident Evil 7. Because the first time I saw Resident Evil 7 being in first person, it took me a bit to get used to. But as soon as you start playing the game, it feels natural. So yeah. I want that to feel just as natural if they are to get to Resident Evil 8. But like, also like if they wanted to be like Resident Evil 2 and give like a bigger threat to like for like another monster like Mr. X, I feel like if that's done well, it can definitely work for Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, I think it'd be really, really scary as well, having a big monster like Mr. X coming out after you in first person. Because Jack was kind of like that. Because he follows you. Well, he doesn't really follow you. He's in the house and he's like looking for you.
Yeah, he's just stalking.
But having something that's actively looking for you while you're in first person, having to run away from it, would probably be really scary.
It would.
I'd be like, I don't want to play this game.
Like, the first time I saw Jack, like, come out from the wall, I'm like, whoa. Like,
Jack and Mr. X need to have a nice cup of tea together and just talk about how they bash through walls. That's one thing they got in common.
But I'm hoping Resident Evil 8 does happen. Because I would love for them to expand what they did with 7.
It's definitely coming at some point. There's no way they're just not gonna do Resident Evil 8. But I feel that obviously they're doing 3. They might do Code Veronica before it. But I'd say the best thing to do is to do 3 and then bring out Resi 8 and then bring out a remake of Code Veronica.
Yeah. Because
I really want a remake of Code Veronica, like, so badly. I love that game so much.
And then just give us a better Steve.
Give us a better voice for Alfred, because his voice is kind of stupid in the original, even though I really do enjoy it. I love Alfred. I think I like him more than Alexia, just because I'm just like, don't hurt him. He's such a fragile child. He's not a child, but you know what I mean. Imagine
Alexia Ashford in HD, like completely made from the ground up.
Yes.
It'd be really cool.
I think as well, because they could the Ashford twins are so creepy because they're technically like the same person, because they're clones of the same a singular person. They're supposed to be so creepy. They could make them so much creepier in a remake. They could add extra letters and it'll make it so much creepier.
Yeah.
Because their relationship is very creepy, to say the least. But I think that's why I like them, because it's so unnatural and creepy and you're just like, nope. But they're so sweet. Also, I hate what Dark Side Chronicles did.
Well, what they do in Dark Side Chronicles?
In the original, they have Alfred dying in Alexia's arms, and then in Dark Side they have Alfred killed by Alexia for not waking her up on time.
Oh.
I'm like, excuse me, don't kill him.
It's like
he really missed you so much. He dressed up as you and perfectly mimicked your voice.
I don't know how he does that, but that's impressive.
That's fantastic. I love it. You get an award from me, Alfred. Just go off topic, talking about Code Veronica. But with Resi 8, I think it would be really good to bring it out after 3 and then do like another couple of remakes.
But the other question is, how long of a gap? Because we got RE2 remake, and then a year after we're getting RE3 remake.
I think it's what with RE2 and 3, they're set in similar places. The originals came out very quickly after each other, so I think that's why. I don't know if 3 would come like ideally would get 8 next year, like would get a Resi game every year. But ideally, if it was announced like in a couple of months, I could see it still maybe taking like a year or so to come out.
I would want it to be like another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Because
I don't like games being rushed just to fit demands. Like, I really wanted to see Metroid like last year to come out this year, and then it got pushed back, and I'm sad.
Because
it's not coming out.
Because they had to restart development.
Yeah, but I would much rather have them restart development and make it a much better Metroid game than it was going to be, than bringing out a game that they didn't like and they didn't think was good. And the same with Zelda and the same with Resident Evil. Like, if it's going to take 4 or 5 years to make a game, I'm going to be really annoyed it's taking forever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be really happy when it comes out, because like Breath of the Wild took forever to come out. When it did, it's bloody brilliant. So.
But then you got Duke Nukem Forever.
Oof. Yeah.
Which took nearly 20 years.
Yeah. Luckily, most games aren't like that.
Yeah.
The majority are not in that category. That's just a massive failure.
Yeah. But
wow.
But yeah, with that, that's pretty much everything that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, just casually talking about Resident Evil for nearly 2 hours.
It's well worth it.
Worth it. What did you do today? Talked about Resident Evil for 2 hours. What's new? Nothing. This time I recorded it.
Yeah, it's going on 2 channels.
Woohoo! So I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who made it to the end of this video. I know it was a very long one, but it was a really nice fun thing to do, and I'd like to thank Elliot for doing the video with me and actually bringing about the idea of doing this video. I will leave a link to his channel in the description below, so go check him out. He's a really good friend. I'm recording this after, as you can probably hear my voice is a bit funny, I've got a bit of a cold, but yeah. Thank you again for watching the video all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please like it, please subscribe, please comment if you want to see any more things from me like this. And yeah, thank you once again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!